What's going on, my loves? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless, depending on where you are in this blessed and beautiful world. My message for you today is make the sacrifice worth it. You have to ask yourself what you are willing to let go in order to get to where you're going. You have to ask yourself what you're willing to do in order to achieve the goal. How crazy, amazing, beautiful do you want your life to be? And what are you willing to give up in order to get there? So I spent so much time traveling this past few months, and it was a beautiful experience, but it was also very painful. And when people say, well, how can traveling be painful? You were traveling the world, meeting new people, eating amazing food, trying new things. But I really had to take a look in the accountability mirror, as David Goggins always refers to in his book, and really ask myself, like, was I happy where I am or where I was? Was I happy doing the things that I was doing? What was the purpose of me traveling? What was I gaining from all of it outside of a worldly experience and meeting some really awesome people? Like, what was the deeper purpose, the deeper source of my happiness? And I had to have some really painful and upfront conversations, because I was asking myself, was it worth it? Was the sacrifice worth it? Was jumping, leaping worth it? And it was, because what it allowed me to do was take a really deep look on the inner parts of me. It helped me to really assess who I was, where I was, what I was doing. But it didn't come without sacrifice. I had to let some things go. I had to get rid of people in my life that no longer served the purpose. I either had to tell them goodbye or just emotionally and mentally let myself release that relationship. There were things that looked positive on the outside, but internally on the deeper level were not serving a purpose for me. I had to pray more, journal more, spend time with family. I had to get my circle really, really small in order for me to really value and appreciate. I assessed all those relationships, the people I was talking to on a consistent basis, the people I valued, the things that I valued, and I had to ask myself if it was worth it, if they were serving something, if they were serving a purpose for me, and just make a drastic change. And everyone is different. What I did may not work for you. You may have to do some things differently, but what you do have to understand that is, if you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity. So don't keep doing the same thing and expecting to wake up and something magically happen differently, unless you're working at a craft, or unless you're trying to get good at something, or unless you're going after the goal and you have to get better and practice. Outside of that, you have to really decide. You have to wake up, you have to make a change and ask yourself if what you're doing is getting you to where you're going, and if you're willing to make the necessary sacrifices in order for you to achieve the goal, and more importantly, just make it worth it. If you have to stay up late, if you have to get up early, if you have to let things go, if you have to sacrifice time with your family and friends or significant other, make the sacrifice worth it. Utilize the time that you have, really execute, really take action, and really go after what you want, so that you can live your most breathtaking, most beautiful, most awesome, most best life. I love you all to life. I want to wish you a blessed, a beautiful, and amazing, and abundant, and freaking spectacular day. And remember, love, it all starts with you.